sometimes it feels like trading in those boots for business casual is like navigating a minefield.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
what if there was some kind of program to help you not just navigate the transition, but actually like thrive in your civilian career?
Well, that's where Operation Military Family comes in.
Okay.
With a new program called DYPSI.
DYPSI.
Short for Discovering Your Post-Service Identity.
Okay, DYPSI definitely sounds more fun than just your average career transition program.
Yeah.
What makes this one stand out?
Well, for starters, it's totally free thanks to some generous sponsors.
Okay.
But what's really interesting is that it's not like just a generic career advice program.
Right.
DYPSI is a targeted coaching program specifically designed to help veterans like you leverage their unique skills and experiences for success in the civilian world.
All right, I'm hooked. Let's dive into the details here.
Yeah, let's do it.
What does DYPSI actually involve?
So from the materials you've shared, it looks like DYPSI is structured as a 4-part coaching program with hour-long sessions offered every week. And you can participate from anywhere in the U.S.
Wow.
Though they do give priority to those in Washington and Texas.
That's fantastic for accessibility. So over 4 weeks, you're getting some serious guidance.
You got it.
What are the key areas that they focus on?
So each week tackles a different aspect of the transition.
Okay.
First, there's rediscovering you beyond the uniform, which helps you define who you are outside of your military identity, like your strengths and your values.
Okay.
And what truly motivates you.
Makes sense. You've dedicated years to service, so figuring out your, I guess, civilian self can feel like a whole new mission.
Absolutely. Then it moves into identifying career pathways, helping you pinpoint fields that align with your skills and interests. And not just like, the typical veteran-friendly jobs, but careers that genuinely resonate with you.
No more blindly applying to jobs just because they sound like something a veteran would do.
Exactly.
I like it. What comes next?
Week 3 is all about quick opportunity assessment.
Okay.
This equips you with the skills to effectively evaluate job offers.
Okay.
A critical skill in a competitive job market.
Right. Knowing your worth and making smart choices is key.
For sure.
And the final week.
That's where it gets really interesting, at least for me.
Okay.
Secrets of negotiation.
Ooh.
Mastering the art of salary and benefits negotiation.
Right.
The material we have highlights that DYPSI provides 8 hours of individualized expert training.
Wow.
Covering things like identifying your core competency, industry fit, attracting employer attention, and even something called the Rule of 5.
Rule of 5?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm really curious. Is that their secret sauce for landing a job?
We'll have to dig into that a bit later. Yeah. But what I find impressive is that DYPSI doesn't just leave you hanging after the program ends.
Right.
They also help with introductions, connecting you with someone already established in your chosen field.
Oh, wow.
Talk about opening doors.
Yeah, it sounds like they've designed this program to be incredibly impactful.
It really does.
Did they mention anything about who they had in mind when developing the content?
They did.
Okay.
They specifically mentioned tailoring the content with veterans from Joint Base Lewis McChord in mind.
Makes sense, given their focus on Washington State.
Yeah.
They're really trying to make this program relevant to the specific opportunities and challenges in that region.
Totally.
So we've got this amazing program.
Right.
But let's be honest, one of the biggest hurdles for veterans is translating those incredible military skills into something that civilian employers understand and value.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head.
Right.
The source material we have really emphasizes this point.
Okay.
Veterans have this wealth of experience.
But it's often coded in military language and jargon.
Right.
That doesn't always translate directly to the civilian world.
Yeah, it's like having a superpower but not knowing how to explain it to someone who's never seen it before.
Right.
So how do we bridge that gap?
Yeah.
What are some of the key skills that veterans bring to the table? And how can they be effectively communicated to potential employers?
Well, you've really got to break down those military experiences and highlight those core skills.
Right.
They demonstrate.
Okay.
Think about leadership, teamwork, problem solving, adaptability. All these things are highly sought after qualities in any industry.
It's about connecting the dots.
Yeah.
Right. Showing how those experiences in high pressure situations translate into valuable assets for a civilian employer.
Totally.
Okay.
For example, instead of just saying, I was a platoon leader,
right,
you could describe how you effectively managed a team of 30 individuals.
Yeah. Achieved challenging objectives under tight deadlines and developed innovative solutions to complex problems.
Yeah.
You're showcasing the impact of your leadership.
Right.
Not just the title.
So it's about painting a picture.
Yeah.
Of how your military experience has made you a rock star.
Totally.
Even if the setting was a bit different.
Right.
Okay.
And it's not just leadership. Teamwork is huge.
Right.
In the military, you're constantly collaborating with others, often from diverse backgrounds, to achieve a common goal.
Right.
So you learn to trust each other, rely on each other's strength, and work together seamlessly.
You can't exactly call in a do-over in a combat zone if the team isn't in sync.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when you're talking to a potential employer, you can highlight how you've effectively collaborated with teams, communicated clearly across different levels, and contributed to a shared sense of purpose.
It's about showing them you're not just a team player, you're a team leader, forged in the fires of real-world challenges.
Totally.
What else stands out from the material you've reviewed?
Problem solving is a big one.
Okay.
In the military, you're constantly facing these unexpected challenges.
Right.
And you have to think on your feet to find solutions with limited resources, often under intense pressure. That's a valuable skill in any field.
Talk about adaptability.
Right.
The ability to pivot and come up with creative solutions is gold in today's fast-paced work environment.
Absolutely. So when you're interviewing for a civilian job, share examples of how you identified problems, analyzed situations, and developed creative solutions even when the odds were stacked against you.
So it's not just about saying, I'm a problem solver.
Exactly.
It's about showcasing that battlefield ingenuity. And showing them how you can apply that same tenacity to their company's challenges.
Right. And let's not forget communication skills.
Oh, yeah?
In the military, clear and concise communication is essential. Right. You're giving orders, writing reports, presenting briefings. It's about getting the message across effectively no matter the audience.
You've got to cut through the noise and make sure everyone's on the same page.
Right.
Which can be critical in high-stakes situations.
Exactly. So when highlighting your skills to a civilian employer, emphasize your ability to communicate clearly, both orally and in writing, and to tailor your communication style to different audiences.
Sounds like DYPSI does a great job of guiding veterans through this translation process.
It really does.
Identifying those transferable skills and then packaging them in a way that resonates with civilian employers.
Absolutely.
It's like having a personal translator for your resume and interview skills.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
They also emphasize tailoring your resume and cover letter to each specific job you're applying for.
Okay.
Highlighting the skills and experiences most relevant to that particular role.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
You've got to customize your pitch.
Yeah.
To show how your unique skills align with what they're looking for.
Exactly.
But even with the best translation skills in the world, it's still about getting your foot in the door right.
Right.
And that's where networking comes in.
Absolutely. The source material really drives this point home. Networking is your secret weapon in the civilian world.
Yeah.
It's about building relationships. Connecting with people in your field. And learning about opportunities that might not be advertised publicly.
It's about tapping into that hidden job market. And getting your name out there. But let's be real. Networking can feel like a whole different beast.
It can be.
Compared to the tight-knit military community.
For sure. But here's the thing. The skills you've developed in the military actually make you a fantastic networker. You're already comfortable building relationships, communicating effectively, and working towards a common goal.
So it's about applying those skills in a new context.
Exactly. And that's where DYPSI provides some valuable guidance. They focus on two key aspects of networking. Connecting to local opportunities and maintaining those crucial connections you've made during your service.
Let's unpack those a bit. What do they mean by connecting to local opportunities?
It's all about plugging into your new community. DYPSI links you up with employers, mentors, and fellow veterans in your area, creating a ready-made network of support and shared experience. This can be incredibly valuable when you're trying to find your footing in a new environment.
It's like having a built-in support system as you navigate this new terrain.
And
what about maintaining old connections? Why is that so important?
Well, your military community is a powerful resource even after you've transitioned. Oh. They understand the challenges you're facing. Yeah. They can offer advice, and they often have connections of their own that might be helpful.
So it's about leveraging the strength of both your old and new networks.
Yeah.
Creating this powerful web of support and opportunities.
Exactly.
What stood out to you from the material on this topic?
They shared a really compelling anecdote.
Okay.
About a veteran from Joint Base Lewis McChord who successfully transitioned into a leadership role in the logistics industry.
Okay.
He leveraged the leadership and communication skills he developed in the Army to connect with professionals in the Seattle logistics industry.
Okay.
And through those connections, he landed a leadership role with a major company.
That's a fantastic example of how DYPSI's approach can lead to tangible results.
Totally.
It shows that even if you're starting from scratch with the right guidance and support, you can build a successful civilian career.
Absolutely. And it really highlights the importance of both translating your skills and building a strong network. They go hand in hand.
This is all great stuff, but I'm curious, what about those veterans who might be feeling a bit lost or unsure about what they want to do after the military?
That's completely understandable.
Yeah.
Transitioning to civilian life can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's natural to feel uncertain about your next steps. But that's actually where DYPSI can be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
Remember that first session we talked about?
Yeah.
Rediscovering you beyond the uniform?
The one where you delve into your strengths, your goals, and who you are outside of your military identity.
Exactly. That session is all about helping veterans gain clarity on what they want to do with their lives.
Right.
It's about exploring their passions, identifying their values, and figuring out what kind of work would bring them fulfillment.
So it's about more than just finding a job.
Right.
It's about finding a path that aligns with your authentic self.
Exactly.
And allows you to bring your whole self to the table.
Precisely. And once you have that clarity, you can start to connect the dots between your skills, experiences, and the opportunities out there.
It's like assembling a puzzle.
Yeah.
Where each piece represents a different aspect of your identity and your aspirations.
Yeah.
And DYPSI helps you find those pieces.
Right.
And fit them together to create a clear picture of your future.
That's a great analogy. Even if you're feeling lost, DYPSI provides that guidance and support you need to find your way.
Now, before we move on, I have to ask about this rule of 5.
Okay.
They keep mentioning it, but they haven't really explained what it is.
Yeah, you're right. We should definitely unpack that.
Okay.
From the materials, it seems like their rule of 5 is a framework for building a strong and diverse network.
Okay, so it's not about applying to 5 jobs a day or something like that.
No.
Okay.
It's about strategically cultivating relationships with people who can offer different types of support and open doors to different opportunities.
So what kinds of people are we talking about here?
They break it down into 5 categories. First, you've got your cheerleaders. Those are your friends, family, and mentors who provide emotional support and encouragement.
Got it. Your personal hype squad.
Exactly.
Who else makes the list?
Next, you've got your connectors.
Okay.
People who have extensive networks and can introduce you to others in your field.
Okay.
These are your master networkers who seem to know everyone.
They're like the human LinkedIn.
Right.
Who are the next 3?
Then there are your experts, people with specialized knowledge in your area of interest.
Okay.
They can offer advice, insights, and guidance as you navigate your career path.
Right.
Think mentors, industry leaders, or even folks who are just a few steps ahead of you on a similar journey.
That's great for getting insider knowledge.
Yeah.
And avoiding common pitfalls.
Totally.
Who else is on the Rule of 5 roster?
You've also got your influencers. Those are the individuals who have a strong presence in your field and can help you gain visibility and credibility. Think thought leaders, bloggers, podcasters, or anyone who has a platform and a following.
So it's about connecting with those who can amplify your message.
Right.
And help you reach a wider audience. Makes sense. Who rounds out this Rule of 5?
Last but not least, you've got your peers, fellow veterans or professionals in your field who are at a similar stage in their careers. They can offer support, share experiences, and help you navigate the ups and downs of the transition process.
It's like having a built-in squad of people who get it.
Right.
And can relate to the unique challenges you're facing. So it's about building a diverse network that covers all the bases.
Exactly. The Rule of 5 helps you approach networking strategically, ensuring you've got the right people in your corner to support your success.
I love this framework.
Yeah.
It makes networking feel a lot less daunting and more like a team effort. And it ties in perfectly with what we were discussing earlier about leveraging both your old and new networks.
Exactly.
Your military connections can definitely fall into these different categories.
Right.
And DYPSI helps you build those new civilian connections as well.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the value of all your connections.
Right.
And using them strategically to advance your career goals.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive into the world of post-military career success. We've covered so much ground.
We have.
From the nuts and bolts of DYPSI's coaching program to the importance of translating your skills and building a strong network.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap up,
I
want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about mindset.
Ah, yes, the mental game. That's often overlooked. But it's just as important as any of the practical skills we've discussed.
Right.
Transitioning to civilian life is as much a mental shift as it is a career change.
Yeah. It's about leaving behind the structure and camaraderie of the military.
Yeah.
And stepping into a world that can feel very different, even a bit disorienting at times.
Absolutely.
So how can veterans prepare themselves for this mental transition?
Well, that first session of DYPSI Rediscovering You Beyond the Uniform is a great starting point.
Right.
It encourages veterans to reflect on their strengths, values, and passions. What are you good at?
Okay.
What do you care about? What kind of work would make you feel fulfilled? It's about reconnecting with yourself outside of your military identity.
It's about recognizing that your service is a part of who you are.
Right.
But it doesn't define your entire identity.
Exactly.
You're a complex individual with unique skills, experiences, and aspirations.
Absolutely. And once you have that sense of clarity and purpose, it becomes easier to navigate the challenges of the job search and the transition process as a whole.
It's about owning your narrative.
Yeah.
And shaping your future based on what truly matters to you.
That's empowering.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that you have so much to offer the civilian world.
Right.
And believing in your ability to succeed in this new environment.
I love that. It's about seeing this transition not as a loss of identity, but as an opportunity for growth and reinvention.
Exactly. And remember, there's no one right path. There are so many different ways to apply your military skills and experience in the civilian world. It's about finding the path that aligns with your unique strengths and passions.
This has been such an inspiring conversation. I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
We have.
Of what's possible for veterans transitioning into fulfilling civilian careers.
There's definitely a lot more to explore, but hopefully this has given our listeners a solid foundation and a sense of hope.
Absolutely. If you're feeling overwhelmed or uncertain about your next steps, remember that you're not alone. There are resources available to help you navigate this transition, including programs like DYPSI,
which provide guidance, support, and connections every step of the way.
And don't forget the power of your network, both old and new. Reach out to your fellow veterans, connect with professionals in your field, and leverage those relationships to open doors and create opportunities.
Well said. Now, before we sign off, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. As you embark on this journey of self-discovery and career exploration, take some time to reflect on your military experience and identify that one skill you're most excited to apply in your civilian life.
What is that unique strength that you honed in the service that you believe will make you shine in a civilian role?
We encourage you to share your thoughts on social media or by contacting the show. And if you're ready to take the next step in your civilian journey, be sure to check out Operation Military Family and their DYPSI program. You can find all the information you need, including the registration link, on their website.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of post-military career success.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep striving to reach your full potential.
Cool.